I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Hey, what's going on? We're back at Seawitch here. I thought I would do some touch-ups and tweaks and dialing ins. So, I've done a few things already. I'll talk about that in a minute, but what I noticed more when I was watching back my gameplay footage is that the right flipper was just not really returning as happy as I wanted it to be. Sometimes it would not return all the way, and then I'd see the ball hit it and kind of like give. I didn't like that, so I thought it could be return spring related. And then I realized it didn't really have a whole lot of up and down play. So I adjusted that by, loosening the two set screws here. And then what I do actually is I mark the flipper shaft here with Sharpie, and then I take a hammer. You can tell I've been painting my nails, and on like a screwdriver, and tap the shaft up a little bit. Then I can track just how much it's gone up or down. I keep the set screws fairly tight so I don't have to mess with the whole realignment of the flipper. Anyway, that wasn't cutting it, so I thought I would take it apart and see what was really going on. That is my trouble light giving me some trouble. And what I discovered is this. Well, take a look at this spring here. All right, it rests perfectly on each side, on the link, on the bracket. But this one, for whatever reason, is more of a cylindrical spring. And what was happening, I believe, is that the spring was going inside of the bracket here and just causing that bit of a return spring issue. So I am going to have to remove my flipper bat after all, so that I can, or maybe I can just pop out the little E-clip there, and then I can change this to a proper spring that doesn't give me that issue. Change the sleeve while I'm at it, and yeah, then that should return much springier. But I guess in terms of playfield touch-ups, the one thing I did that was kind of cool, looks better than it did anyway, is the front edge here. I did the sort of baby blue paint on that. It was mostly wood before, so it looks better now. And then I forgot, do a little bit of black in this area. It kind of looks like crap, but it looked crappier before. The main thing I did was this whole front edge. That was one of the edges, as well as the top edge, that kind of suffered a little bit of cardboard stickiness fate. But looks like my coat of touch-up paint there has remedied that, and looks like bottom should be good as well. So that's much better. Because like I said before, I repainted the whole frame. Last time I had it, I repainted the whole back side and the head and the top. I haven't really looked at the top yet. Not with my paintbrush out anyway. And then the ass end sustained a little bit of turf burn, gravel burn, and I've touched up all those spots. So that's better now, and a couple little miscellaneous other spots here and there. Whoever pointed out that my special lamp in my lamp test was not working, thank you, you were correct. It was not working. As soon as I lifted the playfield, it started working. So it's just a little bit flaky, so I tweaked that a little bit. These two green LEDs, I tweaked those. They should be good now. I cleaned all of my new rubbers with rubbing alcohol so that the residue wouldn't stick to the ball so much. And I cleaned my ball. What else did I do? Let's see. Oh, one little minor thing is I noticed that this bonus X was warm white, and the other bonus X's were cool white LEDs. I can't have that. They all need to be equal, so I changed that LED from warm to cool. Oh, I dampened the knocker. I forgot I did that. See my little dampening foam right there? Because for now it's I get a knock every 10,000 points. Until I set it for free play, then that knock isn't quite as loud and obnoxious. And tape. I still got to deal with some tape. You know, where all the mice chewed. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Just try and tidy it up as best as I can. Oh, also I noticed in my video, see, I was mentioning before that there's a spacer here and here for this plastic to help prevent the ball from getting wedged in between the plastic and the glass. Look, I didn't put a spacer there. There was one, I saw in my video, stuck to the bottom of the plastic. So I need to find that spacer or just make a new one. I just made these out of post rubbers and just sliced them with X-Acto knife or utility knife. So need to add a spacer. So I'm going to add a spacer. I'm going to add a new spring. Check on the coil sleeve on the other side. Maybe all four of them actually. And yep, so making some progress there. I'm dialing in, and we'll see what else is needed. Okay, I found a spring that I think should work. It's smaller on one end, and once I pop it on like so, it'll kind of like hook on there, and then this should be good on the other end. So I think, well, is that getting in the way? Ooh, I don't know. That might work. I think I'm going to try that. Worst comes to worst. It was easy to just take off the little C-clip and, you know, to pop it on and off. No big deal. So let's give that a try and see how that goes. And just for fun, there's a kind of comparison between the two springs. This one has got a much bigger diameter. There's less windings, and it's not quite the same tension, so hopefully that'll work. Okay, just powered Seawitch on. I was going to test the flippers, and look what I noticed. I got a couple segments that are being a little flaky. They were coming on and off. Bottom left segments. I think I might have repinned all of the display connectors, so maybe I need to reflow the headers on that display. So I now must investigate that. That goes on the list. One thing comes off, one thing goes on. Okay, so I was just checking out the flippers, and first thing I noticed is I didn't like the alignment of my right flipper. After I had messed with it, it was up a little higher, kind of looked almost like that, not quite as bad, but so I messed with that for a bit, and much more happy with my symmetry there. But before, I could just kind of push the flipper up just a little bit and it would kind of stay right there. Look at that. You can see, you can feel that, you can't feel, but I can feel that definitely a little more resistance on the right side on the return, but I think it's something I can live with. Yeah, it's definitely tighter than the others. It is a little bit thicker of a gauge, but you know, as long as one isn't dropping a second before the other, you know, you can't see with the naked eye the difference. They look pretty much identical, so let's try a flip, see what it looks like. I can't hit them both at the same time unless I use my knee. There. Try and do that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so I've removed this display and found a few interesting things. My name is on there, Dymus, for whatever reason. Did I give this to my buddy Corey once upon a time to ask him to repair it? I think at one point I gave a few displays to Davis Still. Nowadays I just repair them myself, but before I didn't really have as much knowledge. But I can tell you that it's a transistor here that's been replaced. Looks like another one here. Another one here. These ones control various different segments and digits and whatnot. This header for the connector was already reflowed. The glass itself was already reflowed, and this here is the decoder chip, which was socketed, so that's been replaced. So all I've done was reseated the decoder chip. There you can see that's a replaced transistor there. And I reflowed the headers. And as you saw my little trick there, you can always use your solder spool to give you an extra little access to reflowing the headers. Otherwise, you know, you might be kind of down lower on your table or like this. That's no good. So I use that sometimes. So I'll pop that in, see if that works. And there's the old coil sleeve, which reminds me, I forgot I still got to check in on the others. Alright, let's see what happens here. 7 dings. And it's kind of... it's no better. That digit is now flickering. All my segments are missing. What? It's actually messing up all my other displays as well. So... it's time to grab a new display altogether. I think it's causing glitching going on everywhere else. So that display might be parts now. Alright, let's test my theory here. I disconnected that display. And yeah, all the other displays are fine now. So I am blaming the credit display. So I'm going to go find another one. Okay, my notes on this display say works question mark. Oh. I guess it is no longer a question mark. What is going on there? Weird. Let's go into display test for fun. Yeah, okay. I'll change my notes on that one. Okay, let's try this again. My notes say this one works, but this one digit is a little measly. Oh. That does not make me all that excited. What is going on? Is there something else? Like if I wiggle the connector? Or is this just a shitty display? It's a little bit weird behavior, but maybe that's how the burns happen over time. Or as my buddy Ben likes to call them, measles. This display has measles. Look. Has measles. Okay, that one ain't gonna work. Okay, I pretty much decided I'm gonna have to repair a display. This one says missing hundreds and thousands digits, but works. So far that looks pretty good. Let's go into display test here. Display test. Okay, yeah. Let's go into straight up display test. There we go. Okay, so that's a nice clean looking display. I should be able to fix the missing digits on that one, so that is what I am going to have to do. Alright, so one digit is out on one of the displays. I just need to know which transistors I needed to replace. And digit driver, the level shifter and digit driver transistors. So looks like for the thousands I need to go Q4 and Q10. My label said hundreds, but it's really 10,000s, Q5 and Q11. So these are the four guys I need to probably just shotgun replace all four and cross my fingers and see what happens. Okay, I just changed it. The two transistors responsible for the one digit. One part was new and one part I used off of a parts board, so no way of knowing for sure if it actually works or not. Or I don't know if you can test all these in circuit or not, but maybe, who knows. I have plugged in the display and I'm a little hesitant to hit the display test button because I am not amazing at desoldering and resoldering components, so it took a little bit of time, but let's see if my labor and the fruits of such paid off. No, they did not. Oh, okay, so either I'd screwed something up or one of the components was not good. So let's try that again. Okay, this is my mess of displays. I changed the four transistors, still not working, so I give up on that. I don't know what. It's probably something I did, I'm guessing. I don't know. I would have figured that I would have maybe successfully refurbished one digit, and then I would have had more faith in the other digit. So I started going through, and I found this display. My notes say, it took me a minute to translate. Oh, here's some light. ST Flaky P4. So it took me a minute and I realized that, oh, this was my old Star Trek. And I think when this was in the machine, it must have been in the player 4 spot and it was being flaky. So this is pretty interesting what I found. As I was inspecting it, look what I discovered. A decoder chip piggybacked on top of the decoder chip. Well, that's weird. I've never seen that before. Would never even thunk to do that. So check this out. Turn on the machine. And this is the behavior we get. Look at that. Definitely funky stuff going on there. Okay, so then just for fun, what I thought I would do is put this double decoder chip action back on. Okay, seems to be on there. Okay, turn this on. And what do we get? Perfect functionality. Look at that. I mean, it shows a little weird on the camera, but it's working friggin' perfectly. Well, let's throw it in display test just for extra fun. Look. It's flawless. It's a perfect display. So at least that's good news. What I'm going to do is remove the old decoder chip, throw in a socket, and install that, and then finally I should be done messing with the displays. And that might explain why player 4 was flaky on Star Trek from time to time. If that chip wasn't piggybacked perfectly, or vibration was, I don't know. I can see why it was flaky, put it that way. Alright, socket installed. I mean, I am not great at this stuff. I almost pulled up one through hole trace thingamajiggy. I didn't though. So, one on the very bottom right there, that was a close call. There's a jumper there, I'm not really sure why. But okay. Looks like headers were reflowed. A little bit wonky. I should almost straighten those out a little bit. Maybe I will, I'll do that. Turn my soldering iron back on, but I have a Hacko desoldering tool. A good one. And I don't do enough of this that I don't bust it out that often. I haven't busted that thing out forever. And as a matter of fact, I probably need another couple different size attachments. I think I just have a tiny puny one, which would probably have maybe worked for these guys. So time to bust out that Hacko out of the package one of these days soon. And yeah, so I'm gonna straighten these couple pins that are a little bit off kilter, push them down a little bit, straighten them out, and then plug it in. This guy is up just a little smidge too. That's from reflowing the headers. You leave the heat on there too long, the headers can kind of move on you when you don't want them to. So I'll tidy this up, plug it in, and we'll see what happens. Alright, well that pesky display cost me a good couple hours of messing around. But what matters is that it is back up and running. Just for fun, we can go hit the cheater button. Let's check this out. There it is. What was that, 36 credits? So yeah, it should max out at 40. And there we go. So, that is now all resolved. Did lots of little tweaks and adjustments today. And this machine should be ready for action this weekend. So, I've got, it's Thursday, I've got Friday as my last minute preparations. I'll move Seawitch a little closer to Pinball Magic. Make sure it's straight and level. And then Saturday it will be game on time. I'm going to have to add Seawitch to my game list. I did a little match play software tournament setup there. So I've got, I think 13 machines going to be in the lineup. With Seawitch, maybe that's 14. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for night moves, black hole, and then tag team. So, what did I say? 14? Is that 14? Yeah, so that'll be a nice little variety of machines. And then it'll be nice to give the whole collection a bit of a workout. It's been a while since I turned them all on and left them all on all night. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So that's the end of this episode. Thanks again for watching.